Hey YouTube, it's a beautiful autumn day out here. I just got home from the market. I was on social media earlier and saw the best squash casserole ever. So even people who don't like squash are supposed to love this casserole. So let's give it a whirl. I just cut the ends off my squash and slice up about 4 or 5 squash, depending on how big your squash are. These are medium sized, so I'm gonna do about 4 or 5. And here I have 4 average size squash, I would say. Now I'm gonna grab an onion. And I'm just roughly chopping up this onion because again, it's gonna cook with the squash, so you don't really have to dice it too fine. Just kind of chop it up. And let's grab the water. I've covered these with water and I'm gonna wait for it to come to a boil. And I'm also gonna add a heaping teaspoon of salt. Minutes will give us time to do some things over here. So I'm gonna do a cup of triple cheddar and a cup of sharp cheddar. Use any kind of cheese you want, but I'm a cheddar fan, so there's 2 cups of cheese. And I'm gonna add more than a dollop of daisy, about a cup of sour cream. Love sour cream, love cheese. Once this is boiling, let's set a timer for 10 minutes. Now you can use cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, cream of celery, but I'm using cream of chicken and mushroom because that's what was in the cabinet. And if you have nails like me, do not use them to try to pull this top up. Just use a spoon to get it up because it saves you lots of cursing and doing and saying things you shouldn't do. So here we go. And I'm gonna use the same spoon that I used for the sour cream. Now here's something I never use. Boom, stovetop stuffing, because I always make my own stuffing. But since this is the best, supposedly the best squash casserole ever, let's go. So 1 box of stovetop stuffing. Ooh, look at all that deliciousness. It just says for chicken. And it's the recipe that I found in social media said use the chicken stovetop. So that's what I'm using, is the chicken version. But look at all those fabulous seasonings. Ooh, this is gonna be delicious. Our timer went off, so as long as you can kind of drag a knife through those and just slice them easily, your squash is finished. I'm gonna let that cool for a few minutes. And let's drain this squash and onions. So pretty and yellow, autumn colors. Now back to this. Hellmann's is one of my favorite things. So also 1 nice clean spoon dollop of mayo. Boom. A few nice shakes of pepper. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stir all this together because I don't wanna break up my squash really like too much. So I'm gonna stir all of this together first, and then we'll add our squash in here. Now the recipe that I found online did not call for this, but I'm gonna make me a little bowl here and grab me a large farm egg. And let's just crack an egg in here, and let me beat that up a little bit. So let's just beat that up a little bit. And I'm gonna stir that right in there too. Something just tells me that egg is gonna help it. So anyway, it'll help it. Let's go get the squash. And the squash and onions going right in. I'm gonna get those onions out of there. And I'm not gonna be very ginger here. I'm just gonna stir the squash in too. Now you may want to taste this, and if you feel like it needs a little more salt, and I felt like mine did, so I put just a few more grains of salt in there, tasted it again, and now I think we're gonna be perfect. I'm going to spray my pan with a little olive oil, or my casserole dish, and I'm going to add my casserole. And it looks perfect. Now let's grab a sleeve of Ritz crackers that I have already crunched up in the packet. we're just gonna add those over the top. And apparently it's gonna be a pretty thick layer. It says 1 sleeve, so let's just go for it. No, actually, it's not too thick a layer, so that's great. Now I have melted 3 tablespoons of butter, so I'm just gonna kind of drizzle this butter over the top of those crumbs. Now, if you wanted, if you wanted to mix your crumbs with the butter beforehand, that's fine too. And let's set our oven to 350 degrees, and we're gonna bake this for about 40 minutes. Going in the oven, 40 minutes. It looks divine, and it's still kind of sizzling underneath. So we'll let it cool a little bit, and then we'll give it a try. Well, folks, just as I suspected, did I try the casserole on film? I did not. I forgot, but I served it with a salad. It was delicious. It was not runny. It stood on its own, but it was moist and creamy. So please give it a try. Thanks for watching All Things Chadwick. Please like and subscribe, and I will try to do this again soon, I promise.